Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome to the Mama Shoshana podcast. I am Shoshana Mizell. Welcome back. If you'd be so kind as to subscribe, like, share, and of course, leave a comment if you feel inspired to. So today is the installment 3 of how to know if you are in an abusive relationship. And this is installment 3, like I said, how to leave after you realize you are in an abusive relationship. And it may seem obvious to some people, but it's not to everybody, depending on how you grew up. If you grew up in an abusive household, how would you know? How would you know what is normal and what is not normal, what is healthy and unhealthy? And that's okay. So we'll be right back. Okay, so again, I'm not a social worker, not a therapist. I am just a 63-year-old woman who has been through everything I'm talking about. I had to leave a physically abusive relationship. It was my first marriage, so I am definitely knowledgeable about this. So that's why I just wanted to go through this series to see if I could help other people. So how to leave after you realize you're in an abusive relationship. Watch my my first 2 videos on this series. So it helps you identify what an abusive relationship is, and it helps you look at your childhood a little bit and see if there are any signs there that may be contributing to you being in an abusive relationship where you don't get to see the red flags for whatever reason. No judgment. It's just, that's just the way it is. If that's what you came from, then you don't know any better. So number one thing, if you're in danger, if you have children and they are in danger, or even your pets, call the authorities immediately. That's number 1. They will either take the abuser out of the household, or they will have you, if you can, remove you and get you to a safe place. It may not happen right away. It is a process, but you can get there. I know it's scary, but you may also have to get a restraining order. If you have family, that's great. If you have friends who could take you in while you're in this process, it's really important. Calling friends and family for support, that's not so easy, because a lot of times in an abusive relationship, you become isolated. The abuser wants to isolate you from your friends and family. So sometimes preparing yourself, starting slowly to call your friends, getting in contact with family, let them know to a certain extent what you're going through, what's happening. Try to, slowly gain their trust again. And why I say that is because when I was reaching out to people, I kind of just disappeared from their life. They had no idea what was happening. So the victim of abuse is not always believed, but it is up to us to explain what's going on. It is up to us to be consistently asking for help. That is our responsibility. There are a lot of support groups. There are support phone numbers. Of course, 911 is the first one if you are in physical danger. And I will leave the phone number and the links and the website below of my local victim support groups. But you can call them, and they can always give you the phone number of one in your area. You may request a police officer to come with you if you are ready to move out. If you have an order of protection against the perpetrator, automatically you will be given, usually it's 2 police officers will come to just be there to make sure that there's no provoking from the one who is violent, and there to protect you. Seek therapy. I mean, after you've done all this hard work and faced your fears and you're out of the house, you're out of the danger, it's not over yet. The trauma from however many years it took for you to finally have enough and to move out. You can seek therapy for yourself. You can seek therapy for your children as well. Rebuilding your self-esteem is really important, and you can find that with a therapist. Looking for someone, if you have a caseworker, you will have a caseworker if you call the police and you reported spousal abuse. You will be given a caseworker, and they will help you find the support you need. It's really, really important, because the thing that got you into the situation to begin with, and the thing that kept you there, that is your issue. Not the violent person's issue, your issue. So that you don't continue to repeat and looking for the same type of person. That's why therapy is so important. It was very important for me. Taking responsibility for your part, seeing your patterns. That's another thing. And your patterns, and picking certain people in your life, you'll be able to start seeing your patterns. You'll be able to start identifying. You're able to start using your intuition, where you feel when you meet somebody, you're going to be like, oh, just little signs here and there that you may not have been equipped with as a child. You'll start to develop. Healing through meditation, healing through dance, exercise, art, support groups, whatever makes you happy. Doing things that make you happy is so important. It really helps to rewire your brain. It helps to connect to those pleasure centers in you without the inappropriate adrenaline rush, okay? Because even though it's a horrible thing to be in an abusive relationship, there is a strange kind of attraction to it. There is the drama. There is one acting out their childhood within the different scenarios that happen through in and about a abusive relationship. So finding different activities that give you pleasure in a calm way, to calm down your central nervous system, to start secreting hormones that lead to a serene, peaceful feeling. That's really important. Another thing is education, employment, financial independence, starting over. Again, if you have a caseworker, they can help you with that. You can go to vocational school. You can get a lot of financial support with that. They even have situations where they have childcare on site. So if you have financial independence, it gives you choices. It gives you a kind of freedom, and that's really important. Getting and staying in contact with women or men, because men also experience abuse. Join a local support group, meet new people, and take it slow. Be aware of the red flags. Even with friendships, it doesn't have to be something romantic. And also give yourself time to forgive yourself. If you have seen your children be hit, or you've been hit, and you couldn't protect your children, you couldn't protect yourself, or your children were in the middle trying to protect you, that whole situation can sometimes make us feel, 1, extremely resentful, 2, very guilty, and 3, powerless. So resentment is basically anger at the situation, but that you hold on to for a very long time, blaming that other person for your problems. And that does not allow you to take responsibility for your own actions and decisions. There's nothing that makes it okay for anybody to ever abuse another person, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. It's a fine line between what you allow and what, happens to you as a result of you deciding to stay where you are. But the thing is that you can always change. And forgiving yourself, forgiving that person, because people are not violent with other people unless they're really sick and suffering, unless they themselves experience violence. They need help. You don't have to be the one to help them. Leave that to the professionals. You're not responsible if they decide to get help or not. You're not responsible for that. You're just not that powerful. And yes, again, taking responsibility for yourself, knowing that you can't save anybody else. You can only be there for you, and the only responsibility for other people you have is if you have children who are dependent upon you, and that is it. So that is one way to start slowly recovering after you have left the dangerous situation and you're starting to slowly start your life again. So we have 2 more installments of this. Hopefully that helps. Again, I will leave the link to support groups, to authorities, to associations and organizations that can help after you have left the house, help you get the help that you need. So thank you again. Love you so much. Thinking about you always. Have an amazing day. Mwah.